once again. I'm Mike Michalkow, and in this section, I want to teach you how to motivate your drum students. Now, some students, they like the practice routine that you give them, and they have no problem going with the flow. Some might need some extra motivation to keep the ball rolling. Let me show you how to do that. When drum students hear the term drum book, they do one of two things. They might think, hey, cool, I finally get to learn something cool out of an actual drum book. Or the other student who's a little bit harder to motivate might be like, oh man, a book? This isn't school, this is supposed to be drumming. I don't want to bring a book. But what I do is I show the importance of using a book, because most drum teachers will be using a book at some point in their teaching practice, okay? If not all. So for those that kind of don't want to use the book, what I'll do is I'll say, okay, sit down behind the drum set and I'll play a basic rock beat and say, okay, now play me that. They'll play that. Then I'll do something a little more challenging, whatever. They play that. Then I do something that's completely nuts. And they go, whoa. And I said, well, no, try it again, play it again. And they're like, well, I don't know what you did. And I'm like, well, I can't really slow it down, but try. And oh yeah, it's a little hard to slow down, but this is what it is. I'm just used to playing it fast. And they go, oh man, I want to learn that. And I say, you know what, that's actually in my book on page 47. Oh, really? I said, yeah, so you got to bring the book because I want to show you that. I mean, it's real easy reading. You let them know that it's super simple, because your goal at this point is to motivate them to get better, because a lot of students might hit a wall, and sometimes they don't really want to learn something that you've just taught them, and they go, well, yeah, I'm not going to use that. But you find something that they like. So that's why I like to demonstrate those types of things out of one of my books. Open the book up and say, you can count these rhythms, you know where each drum is on the staff, this is what you got to play. And you'll be amazed. They go, wow, this is cool. And I say, you know, every now and then we're going to come back to this stuff. We don't need to consistently practice out of the book, but you'll be amazed at how they go, wow, this is pretty cool. And I might say, okay, so there's 10 exercises. For next week, can I get you to do 5? Yeah, sure, that'd be great. And it's great because now I've sort of accomplished this goal of, okay, I'm motivating this one student who didn't want to practice. And I said, now there is 10. If you can figure out all 10, that's great. If not, just 5. All I ask is 5 exercises for the week. And I'm always amazed when they come back the next week and go, yeah, I did all 10. It's like, really? Yeah, I mean, that was cool stuff. I like that. I said, so you see why we're using the book from time to time. And to me, it's such a great motivation to get them excited about it. It's not just notes on a page. So let's try that. So the next thing I would suggest is to find out what their goals are. Now, a lot of unmotivated students might be like, well, there's a song I want to learn, okay? And I'll say, what tune is it? And if I have it on my iPod, we pull it up and I listen to it and go, oh, it's an 8th note based song with a lot of 16th note fills. And I'll say, so you'll work on this? And they go, oh yeah, it'd be fun to learn, but I don't know if I can play it. Oh, no, we'll get there. Come on, let's just start. So I'll show them the beat. Here's the drum beat that's being played. And they go, wow, that's pretty easy. But now the fills. And I always say, you know, we learn fills last because the most important part of the song is to get the beats down, the timing, the breaks, the beginning, the end. Then we come back and work on the fills. So if they can already play the song that's got 8 notes based throughout, I say, now here's the fills. And in some cases, some of the fills might be examples of some of my books or DVDs, or I might have to quickly write out the fill. I just have some manuscript handy and say, okay, this is what the fill is, show the student what it is and say, this is what I want you to work on. And a lot of the times, they will go, okay, I got the fill, but you got to say, you know what, you may not be able to play it along with the song just yet. So when you go home, and if you realize you can't play that fill with the tune, just practice that fill. So now they're going, oh, okay. Because to them, being able to play a song perfectly is such a great motivating factor for any student. I know it was for me. And I can think of a great example with one of my really good teachers that I had. I brought in a song that was completely something he couldn't teach me. He was just flat out said, I can't teach you that. He says, but I can teach you how to learn it. And I was like, oh. So I went and I bought the transcription book of this band, and he showed me how to read the certain sections. But it was funny because I was still working on the things he was giving me, but I also wanted to work on this song. And I practiced the exercises. I couldn't play the speed, and I couldn't play the fills, nothing like that. But eventually it was a goal for me to go, I'm going to be able to play this song from beginning to end. And I always practiced it. And I would take the book in from time to time and show my teacher and say, you know, this fill here, is this right? And I could see him light up. So I now know that feeling when I've got students that say, I think I got it. And then they come in each week and it's getting better and better better and better. And this is a good way to sort of, kickstart that motivation for the ones that really don't, is get them playing those songs that might be within their reach and get them playing them within a month. It's such a cool thing. The next thing I would do for motivating students is say, okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to go back to something basic. And it's a little bit hit or miss whether they go, oh, great, or oh, really? And I said, okay, we're going to take all these eighth note rock beats that we can already play. I know they can play a dozen or two eighth note rock beats, straight ahead eighth notes in the hat. I said, what I want you to do with these exercises now is play them, but we're going to accent the ands. So there's a whole different pulse. And I have to demonstrate it usually because they may not really understand what I'm saying. So you're going to play, instead of going cha, 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 it's cha, 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 cha. And they go, wow, that's hard. And I'm like, yeah, okay. And I said, I know you guys can accent the quarter notes. We've been doing that with some other techniques we've been doing. But I said, try to accent the and to really give it that different sound. And this is one of those things where they go, wow, we've gone back to basics, but now it's tougher. So I explain to my students, I say, a lot of times in my books, we're going to learn something, the basic structure of it. Months later, as they've advanced, and I always say that, I don't bring you guys back to this unless I think you're ready for it. And they're like, oh, it's like, thanks, you just complimented me. And I say, so now what we're going to do is we're going to play the hi-hat on the ands, but this is hard. And they go, oh. I said, hey, but I can do it, and I've had 30 dozen students do this, so you're next. And they go, oh, okay. And it's amazing to see how they just dig right into this stuff and start creating new ideas with an old concept. It's such a great motivating factor. Try not to stay on one topic too long, because if you do that, it could tend to lead to boredom, okay? And you never want to see your student bored, especially in a 30-minute or a 1-hour lesson, because if they're bored, they start looking around and they're like, I don't think I want to do this anymore. So you quickly got to readjust. So if it's something that they're not really hanging with at this point in time, you have to sort of use your best judgment to go, what can I do to excite this student, okay? What I like to do sometimes is I always have a laptop nearby, so I go to YouTube or have a DVD handy, I put on a video, maybe something completely random, like a reggae band playing. And they'll watch that and they're like, wow, okay? Because I'm trying to find the motivation factor. It's not as easy as we think. I gotta find out what's gonna motivate the student to start practicing. So put on the reggae band. Maybe we're watching Bob Marley with Carlton Barrett playing drums, okay? And all of a sudden they're watching going, wow, that's very cool. I'm like, so what do you think of reggae? Hey, that was cool. Hey, you wanna learn some reggae beats? Yeah, that'd be fun. So next thing you know, I've now just opened a brand new door for my teaching practice, but I've also got the student motivated to work on something brand new. Always let your students know about local upcoming drumming events, things such as clinics, master classes, and drum festivals. Nothing is more motivating than having a room full of drummers watching professional drummers on stage. I remember my very first drum clinic. I'd been playing drums about 6 months. And my teacher said to me, he goes, hey, you want to go to a drum clinic? And I thought it was a place that, you go to get like a cast made out of drumsticks or something like that, or where you broke your arm. And I was like, what's a drum clinic? He goes, well, it's basically like a big teaching session. I'm like, what does it cost? And he goes, oh, I think it's like $5. It might have been free, it might have been $5. I'm thinking, sure, why not? Let's go. And oddly enough, it was Sonny Emery, who is now an honorary instructor here at Drumeo, small world or what. And I was watching him play, and I was like, man, he's up on a high stage, and I'm front row, and I had no idea what he was doing. I'm like, whoa. But it was so fascinating to watch this professional drummer on stage doing his thing. And he was answering questions, and my teacher's nudging me, saying, ask him a question. I'm like, I don't know what to ask him. Like, what's a paradiddle? And so anyways, I remember going back to my lesson the following week, and I said to my teacher, oh, okay, man, I got questions. Okay, who's Earth, Wind, and Fire? What's linear drumming? What was he doing with his left foot? What's an ostinato? All these questions. And not only did it open up a lot of doors for my instructor to start taking me to new levels, it motivated me to learn more about the instrument. Because now that I've seen someone play and just play drums, it was amazing. Because I'd seen so many bands live, seeing guys playing time and fill and the occasional drum solo. This was a guy doing his thing and just ripping it. And I was like, holy smokes. And it's funny because nowadays I always tell all my students, go to the festivals, go to the drum clinics, just go, go, go. Not only can you potentially win something, you're going to learn something, okay? And every drum clinic that we've seen around our area has been different. You got heavy metal guys, jazz guys, fusion guys, whatever it is. Students of mine who attend these come in and say, wow, that was amazing. Like, how did he get his feet so fast? Maybe the guy didn't talk about that. So now I can say, maybe I don't know how he got his feet so fast, but I'll tell you how I can get my feet fast to get your feet fast, okay? Opens up a whole new door. Or guys will say, you know, what is fusion music? What is that? We can now start talking about fusion music and watching some videos and learning more about Dave Weckl and Vinnie Colaiuta. So it's such an incredible motivating factor. Take your students, go with them if you can. That's even more exciting. You know, students of mine are always so excited to see me at drum clinics. And I've had parents say to me going, wow, why are you here? And I say now, why do you ask? Well, what are you going to learn? I can always learn. I am a student of the drum. I will be a student of the drum till the day I die. I will learn something from everybody regardless if I know what they're doing or not. There's always something to learn. But it's a real cool motivating factor for the parents and the students to see you as an instructor at these clinics. So definitely go, motivate your students, and just have fun with this. It's so much fun and it's such a great time. So as you can see, motivating your students is a big part of your job, and it's not difficult. It's so easy. So get on that topic right away, and I'll see you in the next video.